Hi, Chris has asked me to make a short video about my topic, which I should have shared on Saturday. By the way, thanks for all the contributions you guys made on Saturday. I think we had a lovely session with all the topics. My topic would have been personalization, but unfortunately we didn't have time for it. And as it happens, Chris said that his topic is creating a learner-centered environment. So that goes in very well with personalization. And what I had prepared to say was that we should personalize language because students like it. If students like it, they get more involved. If they get more involved, we get more engagement. If they are engaged, then we have a much greater chance of getting them to practice and reach the aims of the lesson. The other reason why we should personalize is because of the emotional engagement, which makes learning happen at a deeper level. If I ask you, for instance, to speak about your grandmother and you say, "Teacher, como é que se diz afável em inglês?" It's much more likely that you're going to remember the word affable for a long time because you needed it to talk about your grandmother. The other reason why we should use personalization is because it improves rapport. I read an article with an example of a group of Persian students who were quite young, and they were kind of a bit of a club together, and there was this one Japanese student which didn't really gel with the rest of the group until the teacher did a find someone who activity, and one of the questions to find someone who was, have you ever climbed a mountain? And the Japanese student, yes. And the students asked, which mountain? And he said, Everest. From that moment on, they wanted to ask this guy 1,000 questions. What was it like climbing the Everest? So that's a really good example of how engagement can work really well. The other reason why we should use personalized language is because we can get closer to the students. The teacher is seen as a closer person, not a distant person. But obviously we have to talk about ourselves, our family. Students, in my experience, they love to hear more about your personal life. The other reason is because you can focus on specific language practice. For instance, if you do a find someone who activity, you can zero in a particular grammatical point. If you ask students to tell an anecdote about themselves, then you're practicing fluency. So that's another big reason why we should personalize language in the classroom. And this is a bit controversial, but one of the reasons why we should personalize is because students can think about situations outside the classroom where they can practice. For instance, this is controversial, but they can create a Facebook group of themselves. The teacher may or may not be part of this group, or a WhatsApp group. Obviously they will talk about their daily lives. So I think personalizing can create situations for practice inside and outside the classroom. However, there are disadvantages when personalizing languages that we have to bear in mind. Then you may link, not intending to, but you may link the person with a traumatic experience in their lives. Getting back to that grandmother example, there may have been something in the students' lives about their grandmother that they don't like to remember. Some students, it's not my experience, but some students may find it invasive. But I don't think this has ever been the case by teaching Brazilian teenagers. The more personalized, it's my experience, the more they like it. And finally, just had to look at my notes. Some groups which have been studying together for 4 or 5 years already know a lot about each other, so personalizing is not going to come to them as something very special because they already know a lot about each other anyway. I guess that's it. I hope this is useful. I really liked researching to this topic, and once again, thank you for your contribution as well, and I hope you have a great session. Bye!